Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWineRadio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. If you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.
I'm Felipe Tosso, head winemaker of Viña Ventisquero. And if you want to learn more about wine and about us, you go to www.ventisquero.com.
Today we have the pleasure of meeting Felipe Tosso, who is the lead winemaker, head winemaker at Viña Ventisquero in Chile. And there is so much to talk about. We're going to be kind of approaching it as like an umbrella, and we will have links up for you to learn more, because there is a lot going on at Viña Ventisquero. And he's joining us from just finishing up a tasting with several sommeliers. And I'm curious, what wines did you pour for the sommeliers, Felipe?
Well, today I was pouring the gray wines. I just poured, started with a Chardonnay, and then went to a Syrah, then a Carménère, and finished with a Cabernet Sauvignon. Quite traditional wines today for Chile.
And did in the conversations with the sommeliers, did they talk about what foods in their menu that they would recommend? I mean, is that something that you talk about when you're with sommeliers?
Yeah, no. In general, today there's a much more bigger influence today of the sommeliers in the restaurant than it used to be. I think still we need more, but of course what we talk is always about how it would fit in the restaurants. If it was also about good for dining, if you're going to have more than just we talk all about how there's like two worlds of wines for consumption, by themselves, and how are the wines that are complex for dining.
The portfolio of Viña Ventisquero includes the valleys of Colchagua, Casablanca, Coastal, Maipo, and Leyda, and it's
exactly.
It's very interesting it was interesting for me to learn that from a corporate consideration, or that it's so important that you're in part of the mission of the winery is to be environmentally and socially responsible. Why is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to be so concerned about that. Tell us, why is that such of great importance?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with Gonzalo, who is the owner, Gonzalo Vial, and I think it's just that when you start a project from the beginning, and Gonzalo has been a businessman today for more than 55 years, and this was his last project or company. He just wanted to go a little bit to his roots. He's the 12th brother. He's the smallest of the 12 brothers, and he used to live in the farm And well, he does live in the farm also today, so doesn't live in the city. And I think it's just how he has lived all his life, respecting the trees and taking care. And we put it as a policy. He didn't ask us to put it, but we, being his employees, thought that I started at the beginning that it was a good way to see things. And it just makes much more sense. It's really common sense how Gonzalo is.
What year was the winery founded?
The winery was really founded in the year 2000. The first wines are 2001, so we're still a quite young winery.
Okay.
But we started the project in 1990 when we started to look for the land.
Okay, and didn't you join the winery in the year 2000?
Yes, I joined the one in the year 2000, yes.
And there is you have a partnership with a very well-known Australian winemaker, John Duval, formerly from Penfolds. How does that influence your winemaking, especially with respect to Syrah?
Look, John is such an amazing winemaker that the first thing that he wanted to push us is not to make Australian wine in Chile. So I think that's very important to know. He wants to respect what Chileans grapes are and our attitude to wine. But of course, being a winemaker that has traveled all around the world, and also being a very elegant winemaker. If you see John wines, he makes his wines are quite elegant. In all the time that he worked in Penfolds, it was about making classic wines, elegant structure, making wines in that way. So he has had a big influence in terms of looking for origin, for terroir. That is maybe something different that he used to do in Penfolds that was a little bit more multi-area. And because we have our own vineyards, we work a lot on sites. Of course, it's always amazing to be working with somebody with such knowledge, and also a very common winemaker in terms of not being, again, he's a star. He's a good partner. We're friends, really. Today we're really friends, and together already 9 years. And when I travel to Australia, I stay at his home. When he travels to Chile, he stays at my home. So today he's a real partner of Ventisquero, so it's very big influence. And the wines, but elegance and origin, I would say, is what we really focus on.
How many acres does Viña Ventisquero own? Manage and own and manage.
We manage. We have different structures for different types of wine. So
okay.
We have three what we call our premium areas. That would be Casablanca, Maipo, and Apalta. And now we just included a new land that is in Leyda. So we would really have 4 premium vineyard areas. And each of these are about 100 acres each, more or less.
Okay.
So, but then we have a larger area that's also in Colchagua, but another farm, and that would be a very big vineyard. So it depends on what part of the project we're talking about. For the more premium, it's quite smaller, and for the larger format, in total, if you want to see a total acreage, it's about 3,000 acres.
Wow. And
wow.
But
we have some small ones that are even just 10 acres. So we have vineyards that are 10 acres, up to one vineyard is 1,000 acres. So it's very, Viña Ventisquero is like several wineries in one big winery.
Do you spend a lot of time traveling around, especially when the harvest is close to coming to before you start picking?
Yeah, but we are a team of winemakers. I'm head winemaker, but we're 5 winemakers. So we divide ourselves the vineyards. The single winemakers, each of us divide. So I work in the Apalta vineyard. I work a little bit more on the Colchagua side. And, of course, I always look for the new projects, and we have a project at the very north of Chile and in Leyda. Yeah, so my time really in vintage time is early in the morning, go to the winery for about an hour, and then outside to the vineyard.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's I would say, 10,000 miles a month.
Oh, my Lord. And do you drive or do you use a helicopter?
Well, I do a little bit. There's always a new winemaker coming for the vintage that sometimes
Yeah.
I drive a lot myself. I like my pickup, my car comes to be the vintage time.
Okay, since we don't have a lot of time, let's mention the different tiers of wines by name. So, and I'd also like to say that Ventisquero, the word is Spanish for glacier, and that is, and that's one of the tiers is Ventisquero Reserva.
Exactly.
So name off for us the other tiers or labels under Viña Ventisquero.
Yeah. Over that we have Queulat. Oh, maybe if you read in English you would pronounce it like Queulat.
Okay.
There is another name of a glacier. That's what we call our Grand Reserva range.
Okay.
It's our single vineyard range. Over that we have our Gray. Also another name of a fantastic glacier in the Patagonia of Chile, and that is just what we call the single block, so a very small production of each of the wines. And over that, we have what we call the prestige wines or the high-end wines. I don't know exactly how you call them today in the United States. And that would be today 3 specific wines. Just one wine that would be a Pinot Noir. It's called Herú. A blend from a Malta is called Vertice or Vertice, and Pangea, that is a single Syrah from a Malta also.
And all of these wines are available in North America?
Yes, all of them are available in North America.
Yeah, as I understand, the importer is San Francisco Wine Exchange, and I asked also because I have listeners in Asia and Europe that you also have a very fast-growing market in Asia.
Yeah, no, we are almost everywhere. We are quite, after 10 years of exporting wine, I would say we're in all the important wine countries, so there's no other important countries want to have Chilean wine, we would be there. And we're always growing and opening new markets.
So your career choice is as a winemaker, but it was a toss-up for you between pursuing life as a tennis pro and a classical guitarist. How often do you play tennis and play your guitar?
Look, tennis I still play very often, 2 or 3 times a week. So that has never stopped. But I would say that about 15 years ago I left the guitar. I couldn't look at myself playing that badly. You really need a lot of hours to play classic guitar, so I got a little bit frustrated about guitar, and I left 15 years ago. So I haven't played guitar for a while, but I keep playing tennis usually. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, so here we're talking on a Friday. In closing, what wine are you going to have for dinner tonight?
What I'm going to have, it's going to be funny, but I think I'm going to have maybe a Riesling from Germany.
Oh, wow!
A very dry one with some oysters, maybe, something like that.
Oh, my gosh, Felipe Tosso, head winemaker of Viña Ventisquero. Thank you. Now you can listen to Wine and Dine Radio while shopping at the grocery store or your neighborhood wine merchant. Wine and Dine Radio can be heard using your wireless internet on your cell phone. You're listening to iWineRadio. iWineRadio is a production of Food Tastes Better with Wine on the web at iWineRadio.com. Hey guys, I thank you for listening to iWine Radio, and we are still the only wine channel on iTunes Radio. If you go look under iTunes Radio icon and scroll down to News and Talk Directory, and it's listed alphabetically, click on that and the stream comes up immediately. iWineRadio.com, where you can find links to individual guests. And if anyone's interested in advertising or becoming an underwriter or sponsor, please contact us at iWineRadio.com. We really, really appreciate your support. The more support we get, the more conversations I can have with fascinating people around the world, including you. if you have a story to tell that you'd like to share on iWine Radio, go to iWineRadio.com and contact us, and we'll go from there.